Hello, guys. Welcome to the Offside Lounge podcast. We've got myself, Praneeth. We've got Viraj, who is a Manchester City supporter, and we've got Amir, who is a Manchester United maniac. क्योंकि यूनाइटेड को सपोर्ट करने वालों को मैनियक ही बोलेंगे हम Okay, so this is a very special podcast for us, given that it is our first podcast. Or what better topic to start off with, other than the Champions League final, which is one of the biggest matches that happen in world football. So, Amir and Viraj, what's your take on the game?
Yeah, so अभी final है UCL final. Now, first thing is I'm fed up of seeing Madrid in the final. Like after every 2 years, or might be you can say after every year, they reach to final, and it's like they have that mindset, this UCL mindset, which you say like even after Ronaldo leaving Madrid, they have quite successful run in Champions League. And but Dortmund on the other hand, being the underdogs of the tournament, what unexpected thoughts they'll show up in the final, especially the performance which they showed in the semi-final against PSG. Everyone was predicting that PSG will go through semi-finals, but they showed like what is the how they showed the passion against PSG, and जिस तरह उन्होंने गेम को कंट्रोल किया, it was really special. So it will be a difficult, prediction. So before prediction, we'll discuss a lot of things. So yeah, it will be an interesting final. Viraj, what do you think about it?
I think it's the biggest spectacle of the year. Real Madrid making it into the finals by just
Once again.
once again missing out on the finals last year, or rather for the past 2 or 3 years. They might have no, they did win it in 2021, but they
Just last year,
yeah
courtesy
just
City.
last year, yeah. So yes, on the other hand, looking at Dortmund, underdog team again, yet again. We've seen the trend in the past where even with Liverpool Spurs, we knew who was gonna win. Even with Chelsea City, Chelsea were the underdogs. They went up to go and win. Even with Inter City, Inter were considered to be the underdogs, but yes, City won. I think it's time for Dortmund to win it and bring it home. Being into the finals after almost 11 years, against a team that is very, 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 very good at making other teams die slowly throughout the 90 minutes. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Almost, like I said, there was around 26 or 25 goals this season that have been scored after the 90th minute. And I feel Madrid scored probably half of them, trying to finish off their opponent in the final few minutes. But coming to that, Madrid has had a tough journey to this final this season. They've played some really tough matches. They've been on the verge of getting knocked out. So, what's your opinions or your views or reactions to the games that we've seen against City and Bayern?
I think Madrid versus City was a pain in the ass for me because for us, Pranit waking up at 5 in the morning, hoping the
Ah,
game would get over by 7, and you'll be all set to go to the office. But no,
spoils
God
your
had different
week.
plans. Yes, God had different plans. We were up until 8 in the morning. Felt like watching a movie. Felt like we did everything, but um, like we discussed on our boys chat as well, साला penalties पे मैड्रिड को नहीं हरा पाएगा कोई. If it goes to penalties, it has to. be Madrid who comes out on top of it. But yeah, the way Dortmund and Madrid have progressed into the finals was really commendable, beating the heavyweights of the UCL, taking the whole UCL winning predictions to a toll, and bringing out a good final for us.
Yeah, so Madrid had tough opponents, being City and Bayern. So City and Madrid was a difficult prediction. Like it was very difficult to predict who will come out as winners. But then again, that winning mindset of City, but even City, sorry, winning mindset of Madrid, but even City played well. They showed the strong character until the end. I think अगर सिटी के जगह कोई और टीम रहता so it would have been a different, very different result. I don't think penalties तक तो भी गया रहता मैच. City being one of the best team in Europe, they gave a good fight. But as Viraj rightly said, in for Madrid, like penalties, they are the team who can stand out. And speaking about Bayern, so Bayern, we all had a dicey feeling about Bayern because see they are struggling in Bundesliga. They are even the club is not backing the manager. He is also leaving, and they played well against Madrid. But the thing was, Madrid is a from core they are a strong team. Like Ancelotti and his players, the amount of trust players have put in Ancelotti, it's something amazing, and I think that is the X factor in them. All players, like even young players and senior players, they have a good chemistry within them. So
तो
this makes
होजेलुआ के
them.
मजाक में 2 गोल मार के गए.
No, bhai, that was honestly, I feel, a tactical mistake from Thomas Tuchel. अगर
Yeah,
वो केन को नहीं निकालता, I think they would have still had that
Yeah,
probably 1 in 50 chances, but
they would have
you
still
know
stood a chance to
they would have
at
stood a
least go into the
chance.
opposition
Yes, they took off
half,
Sane
taking
as
Sane
well,
out,
and I
taking
think
Kane
I
out
think that
was
was a
a
bit more of
solely.
injury related thing. But taking two of your most key players in the span of what, 10 minutes or probably together, I can't recollect that
yeah,
now, and then
Yes, even
uh,
Musiala, they took him out
yeah,
and got
oh yes, taking out
taking out
Sane,
Musiala
Musiala, and
was
Kane. You've lost all your attacking power in that 10 minutes of taking all of those guys out, and then well, Madrid did what Madrid does best.
does
They, like you said, Viraj, they make you bleed until the end, and then they finish you off, and that is what they did. But I still feel that my reaction was the same to Muller's reaction when the linesman didn't actually let the play continue. I think they could have pulled that goal back. But life's not fair to everyone, and Bayern के साथ भी वही हुआ है. But coming out of that, Madrid again deservedly going to the final. But now the second team, another very talented team. I just wish in another universe we were talking about PSG and Madrid in the finals, but again, not meant to be. So we'll carry on with talking about Dortmund. Started off with PSV, which we all probably didn't even pay attention to that game because we had better games to watch, I think, in the round of 16. But against Atletico, definitely again, everyone thought कि Atletico will beat Dortmund and go ahead, and which they did, kind of got a 2-1 lead in the first leg. But again, what happened in the second leg against Atletico is just sheer brilliance. And I don't want to talk about the the semifinals, so you guys can do that part for me, please.
I think we should. I
Yeah, of
think
course. Make me go back to the bad memories.
and I think jokes aside, apart from the fact that PSG were pathetic into the second half of the game, or rather second leg, Dortmund was immense. Dortmund का crowd, Dortmund का fans. Apart from that, अगर वो ही नहीं रहेगा, तो भी उनके game performance was amazing. Their
Yeah.
interceptions, highest 50 tackles by whom else throughout the Champions League, highest in it. God mode में खेल रहा था whom else. Every interception again. No matter he's
Man of the
35.
match in both the legs.
Yeah.
Both the legs. That those small touches just to avoid Mbappe having
Oh,
possession. Those like beautiful interceptions.
beautiful.
I mean, they were a treat to watch, especially like, I mean, not for me, but I think if you were a neutral watching that match, I think it would have just been an absolute spectacle. Just winning the match by 2 goals on aggregate just shows that like that their
With two clean
defense
sheets.
literally the yellow wall literally the yellow wall, and some would work with it, but yeah, that's just a very salty PSG fan talking there. But again, like Dortmund, very commendable performance. I think they've just been the silent killers where they've not made too much noise, but they've just kept their heads down, kept working hard on the game, won all of their duels. I think each player literally has won all of their duels. We had some spectacular performances from Sancho and Adeyemi as well. And
Sancho
I
का
think
नाम मत ले
they
यार, Sancho का नाम मत ले.
I
सैंचो
think
का
coming
नाम
to
मत ले,
Sancho,
सेबिट्जर का नाम मत
जैसे
ले.
जैसे जैसे जैसे
Sabitzer
तूने
के 5
जैसे
असिस्ट है.
प्रणीत, बस बस, तो जैसे जैसे प्रणीत ने बोला कि बीइंग अ न्यूट्रल फैन यू माइट हैव एंजॉयड द गेम, बट मैं कर रहा था एंजॉय, बट जब सैंचो आई वाज लुकिंग एट सैंचो, आई वाज लाइक यार क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ. या यूनाइटेड के साथ, लाइक एनी प्लेयर लिविंग यूनाइटेड इज नाउ प्लेइंग वेल.
It's like
So yeah,
Sancho
like
is a
as you were
completely
saying,
different person in United and in
right,
Dortmund.
right.
I saw his clip where he was just toying with the players and Sabitzer goes like, damn, ऐसे
हाँ.
करके. But that was
Yeah.
crazy. Sabitzer, on the other hand, has had a small stint at United. 5 assist Champions League में is not a joke. It's quite commendable. I mean, he's been amazing. Even if we talk about easy assists, could be easy. Tiki takas could be easy, 1-2 passes, but still assists matter a lot. And he's been immense in their backbone, especially when your captain is someone who was considered as a reserve player for Liverpool, or rather not a main team player. Emre Can, the player I'm talking about, I think he's developed the team around himself very evidently good. Having Fulkrug having his first season, who scored like, I don't know, I've got the stats here: 3 goals, 3 assists. It's pretty neat. Good stats in Bundesliga as well. And Adeyemi on the left hand, clocking 36 kilometers per hour is definitely gonna cause troubles to Madrid and especially Cavaya. Yeah.
Looking at the final, there's one stat like in European final, Madrid last time they lost was against Ferguson's Scottish team. So Alex Ferguson was a manager of a Scottish team. He had
how
defeated Real
how
Madrid
how
in
long
a
was that?
European final.
A
It was
European
in
final would be before
90.
87, before
Before 80s,
87, 80s.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was I think 84 or 85. I might, yeah,
Yeah.
we need to check that. But since then, they haven't lost a single European final. So Dortmund has a great chance of creating a history. And second
Papa
thing,
Perez at work.
Madrid has Madrid has haven't lost a single game this season. So United was the so कुछ record है अभी भी United के नाम. So United ऐसा एक ही टीम है जो 2008 में won the UCL without losing a single game. So that record still stands, but now Madrid is in final without losing a single game. So let's see.
Look at you trying to flex all United's past records.
I think I
और पार्टी
think
क्या करूं?
I think City did it last year. City didn't lose a match last year, if I'm not wrong. I'll have to check that, but yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like to
I,
take
I,
a dip
I
at that
think I
too.
think they didn't. I think as well they didn't lose a match, but yeah, that's not important right now. I think We've all heard a really heartbreaking news with Tony Kroos announcing his retirement after playing the Euros, which means he'll be playing his last game for Madrid. And and as we all know, Marco Reus has also announced that he'll be leaving Dortmund at the end of the season. Now, two German goats, I'd say, because both of them, like in their respective positions and at respective stages in their careers, have been really clutch for the teams that they've played. But what's your take on Tony Cruz announcing his last game as a Madrid player and as a football player for in terms of club football just before the finals? Do you think that's going to give the team a great push in terms of winning it for him?
Yeah, so obviously, like he is a club legend. He is one of the best players ever played for Real Madrid, a German sniper, we call him. Like, so yeah, like as even if you see when he posted on Instagram and Twitter, like he's going to call off. At that time, many Madrid fans, many Madrid players reacted to it. Now they have that, kind of tribute, which you say they want to give it to him. Like player at his level, we know how Modric and Toni Kroos have carried Madrid's midfield for like more than a decade now. कैसे उन्होंने like dominate किया है यूरोप को दोनों ने मिलके, and he is known for his accurate passing or the accuracy he has in terms of passing and shooting, especially long balls. It's crazy. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I read an article which was stating that in his Real Madrid's career he has given some 22,000 passes and
Whoa.
only 18,000, only 1,800 of them were mispassed. Like it was a wrong pass. But from 22,000, so that's the accuracy and we are talking about. So yeah, it will be a very big, difficult shoe to fill. They are signing great players. They have good young players as well. But Tony Cruz leaving Madrid will he's one of the greatest playmaker we have seen. So it will cost Madrid a lot next season. But yeah, so they will give
Hmm.
100% in the final just for him for giving him a great tribute. What do you think, Viraj?
I think talking in terms of Cruz and Royce, both have been a steal of a signing, especially
Hmm.
Cruz for just 22 million pounds from
Yeah.
Bayern,
Bye.
kind of Bayern's reject player, and both have been the most loyal servants for their respective clubs throughout these years. I mean, Cruz has been a part of a huge success for Madrid throughout the years, but Royce had to let go of a lot of players, and he's seen a lot of players come and have their success and then go for a bigger club. And he stayed loyal with the club, with the club's growth. So I think this shows Dortmund's caliber as a team who generates extraordinary players and rather a factory of 70 million, 80 million pound player, I would say. But talking about Cruz, he's amazing. I mean, with his low ground shoots, with his low ground goals, fantastic, appealing to the eyes. इसके अलावा पिन पॉइंट एक्यूरेसी तो सब बोलते ही है specifically for being loyal to his shoes that are no longer in production, which he custom make
Yes.
gets it custom made from Adidas. So just quite big, I would say. But apart from that, yes, like Amir said, Casemiro, Cruz, Modric, इनका बहुत बड़ा हाथ रहा है मैड्रिड के सक्सेस के ऊपर with those 5 Champions League wins in between 13 to 2018. And yeah, that team was something else. I think that team was better than the Galacticos that they call themselves, because I would say Galacticos after a point was a flop.
Hmm.
Um, and basically it was just a trademark thing to get the deadwood off. But these bunch of players have been immense, especially with Kroos and Reus, and I think Reus से ज़्यादा हमदर्दी बढ़ती है because Kroos has won it all, Reus
I know.
hasn't. So that's
Just
the only
unlucky.
that's why, yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I'm bending more towards this Reus.
Yeah. Like
So
I think
we
Royce could
all
have.
want Royce to win it.
Yeah, of course. I think Royce could have been one of like the most impact players that we would have seen, but just unfortunate with his injuries. Like, I'm pretty sure this is not like this is nowhere close to a Neymar kind of injuries where he's not performed to his full potential because let's not talk about it. But with Royce, I just feel just been really unlucky. But when he's played, and he's been that impact player still for Dortmund. यार भाई वो जो वीडियो बहुत बार देखता है ना वो दिल पे लगता है where you know Lewandowski is playing for Bayern Munich and just before kickoff
Then
they're looking
yeah,
at
they
each
look at
other
each
and
other,
see you again plays at the
and
back.
then it's like
Oh,
it's been
that
a
hits, man.
long day.
That hits, that hits. But like coming back to your point, Madrid has always had that winning mentality that we always talk about. Always been clutch. It's so tough to win the number of Champions Leagues that they have won in that short time span. I think 5 years, five UCL titles from 13 to 18. Uh, Wait, did I get my numbers wrong? Was it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. In 13, 14, 15,
you
16,
get
17,
you
16, 17,
you
17,
got the
18.
gist. It's
Yeah,
impossible to win Champions League back to back because we've got some teams that are still trying and haven't won their first Champions League.
even after getting
But
into the finals.
even after getting into the finals, but I think that club in itself exudes that that confidence,
Hmm.
and I'd love to be in the shoes of a Madrid fan and try and experience what it is having that much confidence and seeing that much confidence in the players while representing the Madrid badge. But I think like the way they have the ability कि वो लोग अपने खुद के players को जैसे transform करते हैं like Benzema like he was a good striker when he was at Lyon
Yeah.
and he came in and it took time for him but when he shone he won a Ballon d'Or after that and the
Dude,
same
who would have
with
thought he was a second
Actually,
striker to
dude.
Higuain to start with?
Higuain exactly
But yeah,
exactly.
continue.
And the same thing with Vinicius as well. At one point, Benzema was asking his teammates to not pass the ball to Vinicius because he's playing for the other team. I swear,
Yeah.
like swear on my mother, don't pass the ball to Vinicius. And now, now if you don't pass the ball to Vinicius, you're going to lose because he's
Uh,
literally scoring and creating for you left, right, and center. But yeah, I think Madrid's winning mentality, as we say, is unmatchable. I think it's Papa Perez having a big hand in the way he's imbibing that confidence into the team as well. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on that, Viraj, on
I
Madrid's
think,
mentality.
yeah, just to start with Papa Perez, boss man. I mean, after having a look at his documentary, especially with the whole Figo coming to Madrid thing, that was
Oh,
massive. I mean, we wouldn't have even known about it had it not been documented. I mean, that was some crazy stuff. But apart from that, I think the team itself works into an autopilot mode. I don't think like Ancelotti को कुछ करना पड़ता हो. It's like in his Everton
yeah.
days, कॉफी लेके खड़ा है just 90th
Just
first
raise
minute.
that.
Yeah, होसेलू आके 2 गोल मारेगा. हाँ भाई बैठ जा. That's it, done.
उसका
All Ancelotti
Um,
does
उसका
is
सीन ऐसा
raises
होता है
his
कि
eyebrows.
raise his eyebrows. That's it. Some
yeah,
stupid fidget spinner tried to raise his eyebrows recently. Couldn't get anything out of it.
Oh my God.
90 million
But
spinner.
yeah, 90 million fidget spinner. But yeah, apart from that, I think looking at the team itself, even if you take the basic example of Lunin as a keeper, he's a third choice keeper. They've got star-studded keepers to start with, but yet he proves himself. I mean, we know that Champions League is a trophy that is in dark words written for Madrid, but they do work hard towards it. We've seen it all along. We've seen it since the time we were kids, since the time we've started watching football, the star-studded lineup as well. I mean, मैनेजर को ज़्यादा कुछ करने की ज़रूरत लगती ही नहीं है मुझे पहले बात. The players work very hard and very
Actually,
coordinated towards the game. They get what they want. They
Yeah.
take all the points home and yeah, back the trophy.
That is why I'm kind of scared about Mbappe joining Madrid, which is pretty imminent. Because a lot of people have said that there's going to be ego clashes, and how are they going to play with Mbappe wanting not to play the number nine role? He wants to play on the left, and Vinicius is on the
Hmm.
left, and having to sacrifice Rodrigo. But I just feel Papa Perez will make it work somehow. Mbappe will agree to play number nine, and he's gonna kill it in that position. And I know they're gonna
Yeah,
work hard. And
see,
with the new
no matter,
Champions League,
it doesn't matter. See, it doesn't matter who joins Madrid. Like in that club, club is always number one. तू
yes,
yeah,
कोई भी रहने दे, तू रोनाल्डो रहने दे, तू बेक्कम रहने दे, तू एम्बापे रहने दे. Real Madrid is the top priority, and I think it's the
yes,
most well managed club. Look how they have transformed from Khedira to those Ozil days, then Modric, Kroos, and now the young midfielders, Valverde, all those players, how they have smoothly done the transition through these players.
hmm,
So
yeah,
I don't think they they will have problems managing too many stars in one team. And
yeah,
Ancelotti, being Ancelotti, he knows how to handle such kind of players. So yeah, I think they have that great mindset. They that DNA, winning DNA, they have it, and especially in
yes,
UCL. Even Barca used to dominate La Liga, but still Madrid was always on top when it comes to European games.
yeah.
true.
So
I
yeah,
think
it is there.
yes, yeah. On that note, Madrid have been always they've always been practical towards their players. Their club comes first. Their fans comes first. Especially with Barcelona having their fame or other 15 minutes of fame. I would say back then they were only in the midst की जब तक हमारे पास इनिएस्टा चावी मेसी है we are the gods we'll kill everything,
Yeah,
but they didn't plan for what after this, because their entire squad surrounded around Messi, revolved around
Messi.
Messi. उसके आगे का सोचा नहीं. With Madrid they have never been that way. Look at their legends leaving the club. Look at Kaká, look at Casillas, look at Ronaldo. Okay,
They've
you've
always
done your
had a
job,
backup.
we've paid
Yeah,
you, tata bye bye.
you're gone, and they've
Ramos,
they've bought in their replacements at least a year or two before.
a year or two. Yes, with Casemiro, obviously they wouldn't have imagined that he would out of nowhere he'll feel like, all right, I've done what I needed to do. I'll try my luck in Premier League. Uske
Yeah,
pehle ही they already had Chouameni who was gonna come into the next summer, and they'd
yeah,
already gotten Camavinga.
Kamavinga as well.
Sorted tha.
Well, it's a perfect David versus Goliath situation. This finals coming to our very big underdogs, Dortmund, in black and yellow. Uh, well, I don't have enough words to praise them for the string of performances that they've put in this year. And again, they've just been, like I said, I would have mentioned this earlier and I'll mention it again. Silently, बस हर एक टीम को मारते आए. They've kept their heads down, they've done the work, and they've made it to where they are, and they deserve to be there. Um, Surprisingly, you all would have also had a look. Dortmund players are also topping a lot of the individual player stats for this year's competition as well,
Oh,
be it the most tackles,
yeah.
which is Matt Summels at on which who's first with around 114 balls recovered, and Schlotterbeck is second with 77 balls recovered. Kobel most number of saves with 42 saves.
Two.
Dortmund has the most number of tackles this in this competition at 207. Just shows that no one's talking so much about them, but they are probably the assassins of this year's competition, right from killing it in that group of death with PSG, Newcastle, and AC Milan to beating PSV, to beating Atletico, to beating PSG, and hopefully to beating Madrid as well. I really, really want this to work for Dortmund. I want it to work for Reus this year.
I think they've been
Yeah,
stealth
same here.
killers, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah. And yet, even they have the most clean sheets in UCL this season. So it shows
Yeah, oh
how
yeah.
well they have defended, how well they are, holding back. So it will be great to see Dortmund win for Royals as well. And yeah, as a club, they deserve a lot. They deserve this trophy. So let's see how it goes.
Well, we know that we've talked about Adeyemi, we've talked about Sancho, we've talked about Vinicius and Rodrigo and Cruz. Who do you think are going to be the top players for their respective teams in the final? What do you think, Amir? Who's going to perform? Is it going to be a Sancho masterclass again in
So
the finals?
yeah, so yeah, Sancho and Royce, I think both would do amazing. But yeah, Sancho is playing well, no doubt about it. But I have a lot of expectations from Hummels because he has a lot of job to do against Madrid. See, Madrid being the best attacking team with players like Vinicius, but they to face them they need a top-notch Hummels, which he showed against PSG. So yeah, I have big expectations from him. And coming to Madrid, I guess Vinny should be the best player in finals. He's a big game player. So let's see. I have expectations from him. So it will be Vinny versus Hummels for me. I will look to them both.
I think
Uh,
Well,
for me it's gonna be Rodrigo because my way of thinking is that Dortmund's gonna put all their heads onto Vinicius and they'll try to do what they did against Mbappe. And Rodrigo is a player who finds space anywhere in the box, outside the
yeah.
box. If you're outside the box, you've got Bellingham and Valverde to do their job. But I think Vinicius is gonna cause them troubles. But Rodrigo will have the last laugh for the goal for Madrid. I would say that's what I assume would happen. And I think for Dortmund, it's gonna be either some player who's not had like much success in terms of being an impact into the game, like like Julian Brand, because he's a player who's good at dribbling out of his way and giving chances to the attackers, Fulkrug and Adeyemi.
Yeah.
So yeah, if he plays, obviously him, because I don't think Royce will be the person starting the game. But
Nah.
yes, if I had to pick one player, I think it's gonna be either Brandt or either whom else, like you already said. Yeah. But yeah, what do you think, Prani?
I feel honestly it's gonna be like what Amir said, an attack versus defense. You got Madrid being uh, loaded in attack with Vinicius, Rodrigo, and I will also include Joselu into this conversation because well, he's the one who's got them to the finals.
You won't forget
Uh,
him for a while.
yeah, and also I think for Dortmund again it's going to be Schlotterbeck and Hummels who will be their top performers. It's going to be a very close game. I think when it comes to the finals, your league form, your form in the entire season doesn't matter because it's an extremely open game.
Yeah.
So like you can see the most least expected player perform, like we had in the Europa League finals as well. That just happened where out of nowhere we've had a hat trick. No one expected that. No one saw that coming as well. So I think finals is always going to be a very open game. But yeah, my predictions for the top players again for Madrid will be Vinicius and Rodrigo, and for Dortmund, I will count on Hummels and Schlotterbeck to have their A game.
Wait, if you have to pick one,
If I have to pick like one player from
yeah,
both the teams, or just one player who will be the standout in the finals,
yeah. Well, who would be your man of the match?
I feel man of the match will be I'll go for Hummels, man of the match. I think
All
he's
right.
gonna be,
So it'll
irrespective
be
of
three
if
in a
they win
row.
or not,
Yeah, it'll be
it
three in a
will
row if
be
he
three in
wins
a
it.
row.
What
Yes,
do you think, Amir?
definitely.
Yeah, same Hummels because I want Dortmund to win, frankly, and he is the person who will, play a very important role.
Hmm.
See, because Madrid को हराना है तो उनको उनके अटैक को रोकना पड़ेगा, and he has that capability of doing. Like you cannot underestimate him at all. What do you think, Viraj?
I think it's gonna be. Um, I want to say Royce because it would be his last game for Dortmund, but I'll be. I won't. Yeah, I won't be too optimistic over it. I think it'll be Adeyemi or Sancho. I can't believe that's the name that's coming out of my mouth this time around, but yes, they have the potential. और full crook, if अगर वो मार देगा दो तो भाई he's over Lewandowski and Aubameyang for Dortmund
For
in terms of
Dortmund.
for Dortmund. Yes.
I mean, I'll remind you, Sancho was an ex-City player as well at one point of time, so you're not the only one that might be feeling left out.
No, I don't feel being left out because Sancho
नहीं भाई
was the one who decided
चार
to
प्रीमियर
leave.
लीग बैक टू बैक जीतने के बाद क्यों
Yeah.
लेफ्ट आउट फील करेगा?
नहीं,
Uh,
मैं वो पॉइंट से बोल रहा था कि उसका 15% सेल आउट क्लॉज सिटी को मिला था व्हेन ही वेंट टू
मिला था.
यूनाइटेड
ठीक है,
तो
टॉपिक
हाँ.
चेंज करो. सैंचो बहुत हो गया, टॉपिक चेंज करो.
Well, okay, coming to that, Amir, what are your score predictions for the final?
Yeah, so mine will be 2-1 for Dortmund. What about you, Viraj?
I think it's gonna be 2-1 Madrid.
I
Okay, what
I
about you?
think I feel it's gonna be 1-1, and it goes on to penalties, and hopefully Dortmund win it. Being really optimistic, but I really feel it's going to be a close game and might get over in either extra time or penalties. But I'd
I'm
love to see a penalties in this game.
Yeah, I'm just
Make it
being
count.
optimistic, but I've seen this in the past and it hurts. I would want Dortmund to win for
But
sure, but
yes,
yeah,
Madrid might
yeah.
have the last laugh.
But
Yes.
but see, Europa League final, all odds were against Atlanta. For what happened? So we
Bro,
might get a surprise.
Atlanta ने लिवरपूल को निकाला. I was happy the very same day. I was like,
Same, same.
All right, on that note, I think we'll be ending this first very special episode over here. If you liked the video, please press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you in the next video. And also, please don't forget to put your predictions down in the comment section. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you all.